Hi, everyone. Welcome to Merch Money. Just Christina and I tonight. I'm so excited.
Me too.
She's all
It's
festive
been a long time.
with the Christmas tree in the background. You look great.
Aw, thanks.
And we got Ryan, we got Ian in the chat. How are you guys? My mic is still not working, so I don't know what's wrong with it. I'll have to just go get a new one, but hopefully we'll make it through tonight. It'll be okay. But for those of you that
Yeah.
are listening again on the podcast, I'm sorry if the sound is not the best, but we'll see. Oh, we got all kinds of people in the chat. I think the chat was a little delayed. So we got Patty, Laura. Patty's agreeing that you look festive, Christina. Did you freeze? Oh, Tim's in the chat. Brad. Thank you guys all for being here. So fun. I think we lost Christina, but she's at such a perfect smiling pose. She looks so happy. Let's see who else. Disruptive Teas. I like that name. We got everybody. She looks frozen and festive, Ian said. Yes, I agree. All right, let's see. I think she's trying to come back on. Hey, there she is.
Hey.
we were smiling because you looked so happy. Like you froze, but you were in this like perfect smile. It was great.
I know, I'm like sitting here, I'm like, okay, I'm talking and I'm listening and I'm like, I don't think I'm there anymore. So I'm always the last one to know. So
Well, anyway, it's okay. So it was funny. Today I was listening to a video we did at the very end of December last year. It was like all our kind of a recap of the year and then our goals for 2019. And it's so funny, like how much changes in a year. It's like, so I'm looking forward to talking about 2020 and everything that we did this year. It's been a pretty good year, don't you think?
it has. It definitely like didn't turn out the way like I thought my year would turn out, but it turned out like much better. So
Good.
yeah.
So what were some of your thoughts of how you thought the year would turn out? I'm trying to remember what you were doing in January because I had met you already, but we weren't talking that much like you.
Yeah, I was still working for D4D at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And my goals for the year were to diversify my business overall and to start using VAs to help me with that. So those were kind of like my primary goals for the year. And then Merch Money came along. So, and like rocked my world. So
Yay!
yeah, in a good way. So
Yeah, we definitely have Brianna to thank for that because there was so much that I wanted to do, but I just felt like I wasn't making it happen. So I was talking to Brianna. I'm like, I can't do this, I can't do that. Like, we haven't done this. I'm like, what can I do? Like, I feel like we're stuck. And she was like, how about we see if Christina wants to join the group?
I know.
So it was all Brianna.
Yeah, and she asked me and I was like, "Oh my gosh." Like I felt like I don't know how to describe it. Like it was just an amazing feeling because I had followed you guys as a fan for so long,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Are you sure that I'm qualified?" And like, I don't know. I just haven't been doing this as long as you guys, and I felt so like I don't know, like I wasn't worthy. So, and yeah, but I was super excited. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll join. So it was
And
so exciting.
I think that's a big thing to talk about because it's like you had your own insecurities and maybe you weren't like ready. And then I had my own insecurities, like I should be able to do all this myself. But it took telling Brianna, like, I am struggling. Can you help me? What should we do? And then that led to having you join the team because it's like everybody, you have to get over your own insecurities and your own like beliefs that you can do everything by yourself. So it took both of us at the same time overcoming our fears, because I had to go to Brianna and say, I can't do this, help me.
Yes.
And then you had to be like, okay, yes, I'm going to help you guys.
Yeah.
So it's really helpful. And it's really amazing. Like, cause I'm sure everyone listening is like, are you kidding me, Christina? Like,
I
you're so
know.
successful and so great at everything. But it's so true. We literally
It
all
is.
feel like that. Like today, I almost didn't even post the screenshot of the 10K tier because I was embarrassed how long it took me to get there. And it's like
No.
everybody's just at their own pace, doing their own thing. We all feel insecure. We all feel like we're failing. It's like you just have to do the best that you can and just be proud of whatever accomplishments you have and ask for
Yes.
help. If I hadn't asked for
Yes.
help, we wouldn't be here. And if you hadn't been brave enough to say yes, then we wouldn't be here.
Exactly. Exactly. And it all goes back to the meetup in Columbus too, because I was huge fear for me. I was like, I don't think I can go to this. I had been so excited, and then the day before I was like, nope, can't go. I just can't do it. And my husband pushed me, and yeah.
I'm so
So
glad that he did that. I can't wait to one day meet your husband. Like everything you say about him, I'm like, he seems like so supportive and such a good person.
he is. He is. He's very, very supportive of me and stuff. I I thank him for that. And he has more faith in me than I do most of the time. He's just like, you can do this. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So
Aww.
yeah, yep.
A lot of people are asking questions about Brianna. I'm sorry, guys. I really don't know the answer to that. All I do know is that being on YouTube, being out in the public eye, it's very stressful. And sometimes people, you know, comment or say things, and I don't really know if that is part of it or what. I don't know the whole story. All I know is that it seems like Brianna's taken a step back from being in the public eye. That's all I know. But I don't blame her. It's not easy. Who knows if I'll be able to do it forever. I know she did it for like a long time, probably like 10 years or something. She was
Yeah.
just every day out in Facebook, YouTube. Sometimes you just want to be with your family and just sort of take a break. So,
Yeah. I can absolutely understand that. Yeah.
Dwayne saying he's watching from Orlando. Hi, Dwayne. Dwayne is awesome. He's one of our newer members and is doing amazing. Did his dinosaur calendar and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. You guys got to check that out. That's amazing. The artwork that he created digitally is just phenomenal.
Heather saying hello from Seattle.
Hey, Heather. Heather's laid up right now. She's the one who recently had surgery. That
Oh, wow.
yeah. So gave me the idea for a new KDP book. So
Nice.
yeah.
Speaking of KDP, everybody knows that as soon as I hit 10K, I was going to focus just on KDP. And it was taking me so long to get to 10K tier that I started working on KDP before, because I was like, oh, I'm never going to get there. So I didn't have the patience to completely wait, but now I've finally gotten there. So it's on for KDP.
Yay! That's definitely going to be a focus of mine this year too, KDP. So, yep.
At first I was kicking myself that I waited so long, but I'm kind of really excited I did, because there's so many more resources now. There's so many Merch Informer added so many interiors. Tangent Templates has tons of interiors. I've just gotten them from various places over the last year, and so I have so many to work with now. And I've gotten better at making my own designs, so I feel like I'll be better at designing covers instead of just using my merch designs. So I'm excited.
Yes. I am too. I think I know we'll probably talk goals or whatever, but definitely like getting back to like merch and KDP.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm bringing my focus back down instead of out further.
Yes.
So
Yes. I've always been fairly focused, but it's really hard when you're trying to do a group because people are asking you questions about every different platform. So I would find myself like trying to learn this platform, trying to learn that platform, like kind of all over the place this year. No matter how much I tried to focus on just merch, it was really, really hard to do that. And I think it was good because I need to know like some kind of basic level of all the different platforms. So I think it was a little good that I got scattered, but I agree with you. Like this year, I really want to focus on KDP.
yeah. Yep.
Um, let's see. So many comments. I'm so happy that
I
all these
know.
people are watching live.
Yeah. I see so many familiar names.
Tim saying, welcome to the party, Helen. I think he must mean about KDP. I know. Only like 12 years later, however long KDP's been around. But that's the thing. It's like people always ask, like, is it saturated? And I'm like, KDP's been around for a while. Books have been around for all of time, like for a long time. There's no such thing really as saturation. I don't think, because there's always something new, and there's I don't know, new trends, new stuff.
Yeah. And for so long, people were moving away from like hard copy books, but like I heard just this week that like small bookstores are thriving again and people are getting back into like the actual like printed books. So
Yeah, I didn't believe it at first, especially with journals. I was like, who's gonna write a journal? Like, aren't people just gonna use their phones or use whatever? Because I think of planners as like my mom having a planner back in the like 80s and 90s. Like she always had like a big, and I'm like, there's no way people still do that. But nope, it's a huge thing. Everybody does like real actual planners and journals. I still haven't gotten on that bandwagon yet, but I think I might this year just to kind of force myself to be in the mentality of everyone that's using them.
great
To me,
idea.
it's like I'm still like I can't even imagine. So I think I'll just buy some and try to like write in a real journal and write my schedule on a real calendar, see if I can do it. But
Wow.
at least like kind of see where everybody's coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's saying I love holding a book when reading. Tablets just don't have the same feel.
Yeah.
That's true. You know what? I've even gotten away from reading. I don't know if it's, I forget who had this conversation. Maybe it was Amy Nicholas, where it's like, does it count? Like, is Audible the same thing as reading? And it's like,
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Like, it is a different experience holding a book versus reading on a tablet versus listening on Audible. It is kind of all three separate experiences. But I've gone way more towards the Audible side.
Yeah, with the travel this year.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
it's so easy when you're in the car traveling anywhere. So easy when you're just uploading merch listings or laundry or whatever I'm doing. Like it's so easy to have an Audible playing in the background. So
Okay. I was just going back through some of the questions here. It looks like, phew, we got a busy chat tonight, don't we?
I know. I was so happy. Thank you guys. Everybody was so excited to have a show of just the two of us. So that means a lot to us. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay. And speaking of questions, you know how when we put it like here, then everybody can see the comment. I was just, before we went live, I was just seeing a video from StreamYard where they have a new feature where when you put the comment like this, it will move everybody up. So it won't cover that third person anymore. Like if we have a third person. So it's something I have to do in the settings, but I'm going to figure that out before the next show. So.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right. So I think I kind of like how we did it last year, where we kind of went over like a little bit of this year, all our favorite things about this year, and then talk about our goals for next year. So is there anything we did a little bit about how like getting you to be part of Merch Money. That was amazing. But what other big things were you happy
Favorite
about this
thing.
year?
Some of my favorite things were the meetups this year. And that was, again, something I didn't know was going to happen at the beginning of the year. But that's going around and like having the meetups and meeting a lot of the Merch Money crew and building connections with people out there, and finally like meeting some of the Merch Money community in person was just like, that was probably one of the biggest highlights of my year. So that, yeah. And the Merch Money mastermind group, that's been like so exciting for me. I love having that small private group of people that we can, kind of coach and, train, and just like, it feels like having like a team again. So that we're developing and helping along. So that's been another one of my favorite things this year. So
Me too. And I'm just like amazed by I don't even know the right word to say, but just how like amazing all the people are that are in the group. Like, it's almost like, to me, speaking of being like insecure, I'm like, you don't need this group. Like, you're so much better than me. Like, but it's because people are so, like, the people that are very successful, they want to learn more. So they're more willing to join things like this and learn whatever we can teach them, whatever we can provide. And so we learn too from them. But it just blows my mind every time that I'm around people like that, where it's like, wow, they really, like, even though they know so much and are doing so well, they want to learn more. And so
yeah,
it's really great. That's one of my favorite things this year, is doing that group. That is it's only been 2 months or something, but it's already like, I love it so much.
Yeah, it feels like, I don't know, it just feels like it's, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it feels like I've known some of these people forever, and we get to know like their personal stories and why they're doing this, and, all of the personal challenges that they're facing. And it's just, I don't know. And we get to share more with that group.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just awesome. So.
And I agree with you. The meetups, my goal had been to go to four, somewhere between 4 and 6 meetups, or conferences, either one. And I ended up doing 3 conferences and 9 meetups. And you went to a lot of those with me. So
yeah, but not nearly all of them. Oh my gosh.
12 events this year. That was a lot for me. And it doesn't sound really like a lot, but so many of them were like pushed together into the summer. So it was like almost every week. It was so much. But it was a lot of fun. I always love meetups. There's just something special about being able to talk to people face to face and just find out so much more. Because a lot of times in the groups, we're just talking about merch. So you don't even know their whole stories and all the other things that people know, or the other businesses that they're doing. And so it's so interesting.
Yes, it is. Love it.
And I'm always amazed by how many people are in Ohio
I know
that are entrepreneurs or part of Print on Demand. So definitely everyone in Ohio will have another meetup there soon. I got to get with Kelly and figure that out.
Yeah. Well, you'd think I'm here. You'd think I could organize something, but
Don't worry.
I know.
Don't worry. Spring will be here before you know it. I think I'll just start making a list like how we did last year. I already have so many ideas of places I want to go. And oh, guys, we're thinking about going to a conference in, when is it? The end of January or February? I'd have to look at the date.
Yeah, I think end of February. Yep.
End of February. Okay. So we'll give more details on that, but it's a FBA conference, but we'll have like a meetup for POD people. Am I behind on the comments? Yes. Look at all these.
I know. It's awesome.
Ohio, Ryan saying Ohio meetup before the end of the year. I don't think so. That's like what, a couple weeks.
Yeah, I wish.
We'll
Oh,
probably do one in, I don't know, March, April, something like that. Tim
yes.
saying Ohio is overrated. I love Ohio. Everybody in Ohio like complains about Ohio, but I feel like why doesn't everyone live in Ohio? It's so much less expensive and you have all the same kind of things. I'm like everywhere else you have to pay so much more for the same stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. When you think about like, especially kind of where you live, I'm sure it's like the cost of living is probably
Yeah.
much higher, but the weather's pretty much the same, you know.
Yeah.
I would be willing to move somewhere warmer for more money. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but if I'm gonna have to live in cold weather, might as well be someplace cheap like this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think Ohio's up there of one of the best places to live, like for quality of life, because it's like you have cities, so you're not like in the middle of nowhere, um, but it's like so much cheaper.
yeah.
Um, so anyway, Ryan, oh, he was asking Ryan, how's your Q4? New York is high. Yeah, New York is so high. I love going to visit New York, but if I lived there, like, I mean, unless I was right in the city, I probably wouldn't be going to the city that often. So I feel like I end up going to New York the same amount of time, even if I lived closer, like from Virginia, I go quite a bit, but um all right. So we talked about meetups, the mastermind. What else happened this year? I'm trying to think. It was so much. There was a lot of like classes and stuff I did. Like did the
Yeah.
brandability course at the beginning of the year. Did the Etsy 30-day challenge. Um,
The
I,
KDP 30-day
oh,
challenge.
that's right.
Yes.
I almost forgot KDP challenge. I did part of the printables course.
Yeah.
Um, and then I got to finish that. It was just a lot of learning this year. So much learning. Speaking of
Exactly.
speaking of printables, I got into Amazon Ignite recently. So
Yay.
for anyone that hasn't applied to that, it's very easy. Just go to what is it, ignite.amazon, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, and just apply. I don't know their criteria for what they're looking to, like how they're picking who they accept. But for me, I just answered like as simply as I possibly could, and I didn't put any website. So
Wow.
I got
I'm
it.
excited. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what you can do with that. So,
Yeah. So we've been learning about printables just in general because we were thinking about doing that for Etsy. But printables work really well for teachers. So now that we know how to do printables, the next thing is just and we've kind of learned some of it with doing KDP. So now it's just like putting it all together and coming up with printables or resources that'll be helpful for teachers.
yep.
So I haven't officially uploaded anything, but I've been looking into it and thinking about what I want to do there. Tim saying if you got into Ignite, anyone can. Thanks, Tim.
Oh, wait. No, Tim says if he got into Ignite.
Oh, I really read it as me. And I'm like, I agree with you, but
I know. No.
thank you, Christina. Um, oh, Flav's saying,
Of
Flav's,
course.
of course you did. Yes, I did
Yeah.
do his too. I did, I also did Fernando's. Like literally I did so many this year.
Yeah.
Has anyone finished their Etsy challenge customer avatar homework? Be honest. No, I didn't. I did not. I kind of like just from the very beginning decided not to do it because I had already gone through an avatar in the brandability class. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just keeping that avatar that I already did.
Yep.
Laura's saying no, she didn't do it either.
I know.
Beth saying she got approved for Ignite. Yeah, so speaking of goals, that's definitely on my goals list to KDP and Ignite. I think working on both of those together will be good because I think they're along the same line of thinking. I feel like I'll be able to make a journal for something and then add more details and more things, make a printable. So we'll see. 'Cause I think I'll just focus on like kids stuff or teacher stuff and do that for KDP and for Ignite.
Yeah. Great idea.
build up my, back to school kind of stuff for KDP.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the content, it could be both a printable and it could be put into like a low content book even.
Yeah.
Some of like the kids learning stuff,
Mhm.
since there's so many like I mean, parents buy those things for their kids, and I know as an aunt, I buy those things for my nephew,
Yeah,
like little learning books. So, yeah.
exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Like make it like a activity book kind of thing, but for learning, and
Yep.
put that on KDP, and then just separate it all out as printables on
Exactly.
Ignite.
Yeah.
That's my plan. Well, I'm excited to be doing all that next year. So, what else? Did we cover everything from this year?
Trying to think.
A lot happens in a year. I just can't believe like it went
I
from not
know.
even like I knew you, but I didn't know you that well to like now we're working together this whole year. And just
Yeah.
so much.
It it is. It's strange. I was sitting over here last year at this time watching the show with all of you guys in it and thinking about my goals for the year and everything. So, yeah.
Yeah. And it's so funny, like we set goals, but then it's like things change. So I did a post today in the group and I was saying I hit some of my goals. Like I reached 10K tier finally. That was one of my goals. And then I did more meetups than I thought I was going to do. But then my other goal was to set up 2 brands. And my thought, for some reason at that time, I was interested in buying and selling businesses. I'd started to learn about that. So my interest was like, let me start a brand and then sell the brand in a year or two. And I
Yeah.
really tried to get into that and build a brand. So I did the brandability class was like 3 months or something, wasn't it? It was pretty long.
Yeah.
So
It was.
I did that whole thing, and then I did the Etsy 30-day challenge and a few other things where it was like focused on building a brand. So I worked pretty hard on it this year, but I just couldn't get myself to really do it because if you really have social media accounts and you're really like thinking about your customer and building this whole brand, it's pretty involved and like I feel like you have to actually care about it. So it's really hard if you can't find something that you're really passionate about. Because with us, like with Merch Money, if we weren't passionate about it, we would not be able to do it. Because
No.
it's so much involved. Like you have to go on live every Monday. You got to do posts every day. Like it's a lot of work and a lot of time. So building a brand, you might not need to do quite as much as we do for Merch Money, but it does take effort and like you have to have people want to buy your brand for whatever reason. So you got to cultivate that. And I just couldn't find anything that would motivate me enough to really put in the time to build a brand.
Yeah.
But you,
Yeah. I'm the same way. I've got a brand started, but I don't know. Like I'm more passionate about the Merch Money brand. So
yeah,
that's where I want to spend my time. So I'm conflicted. I know eventually I'll circle back around to it. I really expected that I would have a Shopify store up and running this year, but then Merch Money happened and I was like, this is where I want to shift my time.
yeah.
So, yeah.
And I feel like we're learning the skills for building a brand because we do have, I mean, our website is a Shopify store. So we are on Shopify. We learned how to do, YouTube and podcasts and all, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that. So
Yeah.
I feel like we're building the skills. And eventually, I think it just takes like maybe building a team, like what you said about the VAs. If we had VAs to help, then we would have more time to be able to support more brands. So I think
Yeah.
this year, one of the goals will be to start working with VAs because I really haven't that much. I've mostly worked with design companies or things like that, buying designs, but I haven't really worked one-on-one with VAs. I have,
Yeah.
but not that
Yeah.
often. Like it's here and there
Yeah.
sporadically. Um, so I think building a team will really help us have more bandwidth to be able to handle additional brands.
Yep. Yep. completely agree.
So VAs is definitely on the list. And then I really want to start a blog. I think a blog
Yes.
is really nice on our website and kind of tie everything together, because not everyone can sit through a whole YouTube show or keep track of all the different stuff happening on Facebook. So I think some people will like just be able to find the content quickly on a blog post.
Yep, that's on my list too. So
yeah.
we'll tackle that one together. So yeah.
I love how we tend to have the same goals. That helps so much, because then
Yes.
it's like we're both going the same direction.
Yep.
So what are your thoughts on TikTok? I did a post, because that's one of my goals, to learn TikTok more, but I did a post and most people were saying that's a terrible idea and it's not safe. What are your thoughts?
I think it depends. I think it's not as regulated right now
Mm-hmm.
as Facebook and YouTube, but inevitably it will be. So it's just newer than those platforms. So we'll eventually have the same rules and, strictness there. But I think it's interesting. And I think that there's not too many businesses trying to use it right now. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's something I would like to delve into. So, because I was a really early adopter of Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember, at that point I was doing marketing and recruiting for the company I was working for. So I was like, "This is what I'm doing," and they all thought I was crazy. It's like you're on MySpace. And I was like, no, it's totally different. Trust me,
Yeah.
and eventually it really took off. But
Yeah.
it was one of those things you had to kind of think differently at first and think about how it could be used for business
Yeah.
and growing a brand and things like that. So, yeah, they were like, no, this Twitter thing is never going anywhere. And yeah, and then it stuck. So
And
I think TikTok could be the same way.
And I remember about Facebook was the same way. Like I, I actually was kind of slow with opening an account, but all my friends had started ones, because it was only in college. Like you had to have a .edu email, and I had one. I just was slow with setting it up. My friends like forced me to set one up the last day of school, or like somewhere
Right.
like right before I was leaving college. Um, but that took quite a few years to really go out to the general public. It started with just students. So I think it's kind of just the way it normally goes. It starts with students first, and then it kind of goes to everybody else. So I feel like with TikTok, it's like gone through the student phase, and now it's going to the like first adopter phase. So it's going
Yes.
through all the celebrities and all the people that like take action quickly. So I feel like maybe next year sometime, like it'll start to be just regular everyday people. I think there's already like 7 million um adults in the US on TikTok. It's some kind of statistic like that. Like it's already quite a few.
Wow.
But we were talking about blocks earlier today, because I was having a block with like creating content, like creating something like a course or something like that. I just felt like I can't do that. Like I could do Facebook posts, I could do YouTube videos, but I can't like put it all together. So it's like a mental block. Same thing with TikTok. Like I liked it for like 6 months and I was like, well, I can't do it. Like I don't want to dance or sing or whatever. Like I can't do it. And then all of a sudden I was like, just pretend like it's Instagram.
Yes.
And as soon as I pretended like it was Instagram, I'm like, oh, it's so easy to post. So I did another like
Yeah.
silly little post today. But it's really not that hard. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's something I'm learning. So TikTok, I'm learning. Blog, that's next. What else? What else for 2020?
Let me think here.
VAs, definitely. I made a list.
Yeah. Yep.
Definitely want to push myself to just start hiring VAs.
More training. So that's something I want to do more training for our groups. So webinars and things like that. I don't know. I really enjoy the training aspect. So,
I
yeah.
love it. I mean, I just can't even believe like how the world works and like how miracles happen because I don't know anything about training or anything about putting together course material or anything. And it's like just so happened to work with someone who used to be a trainer. Like, and that was your job, putting together training and content. So I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, this is amazing. I learned so
Yeah.
much from you.
Yeah. It's exciting. So, and just for merch money, more meetups, like you said. I want to keep bringing the community together and try to get back to some of the same places, but also add some new ones in there.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I there's different people that I want to meet. Like I really want to meet Julie that did the printables class.
yeah,
I'm just thinking out loud. I haven't even talked to her about this, but I'm like, we got to see if she wants to do a meetup. That would be so fun.
it would.
Her audience is like amazing. I would love to get to know all of them better.
Yes,
Um,
me too. More collaboration.
that's
So
what I mean. Like, think about people
yeah,
like that we really want to get to know better. I think where is she? Seattle or no?
Seattle.
Is
Yep,
that right?
Seattle.
Okay. So maybe we'll have a Seattle meetup. We'll see.
That would be awesome. I loved Seattle, and I know that the merch conference isn't going to be there. So, yeah, but there are a lot of people in that area that do merch, and I know a lot of them would be willing to come. I know Heather, the one that was watching earlier,
Mhm.
she's there in Seattle, and I can think of a lot of people that's in that area that it would probably be a pretty big meetup. So,
Okay, perfect.
yeah.
Melinda's saying, I very much enjoy the TikTok that I saw of you. Oh, thank you, Melinda.
Yes.
Yeah, I liked that one too. Um, let's see. Oh, I just discovered you from Amy Wees. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. So I'll catch Christina up. I don't even know if she knows about this yet.
Nope. I was like, awesome.
she wasn't feeling very good. So we had somebody scheduled for next week and then they had to reschedule. So we had an open spot and I had been talking to Amy Wees and I sent her a link. I'm like, I'll just sign up. I was thinking she would sign up sometime in February. I forgot that like we had rescheduled. So luckily we have someone for next week because I forgot to like fill in the spot from the person that had rescheduled. Anyway, she signed up. So she's going to be on the podcast next week or on our show next week instead of the person that we'd had before.
Okay.
But she's somebody that's big in the FBA community, Amazon, stuff like that. So there's so much overlap of all these different groups. So she was commenting on my TikTok post and saying how she wants to learn more about TikTok. And then we started talking and sending messages. And then she's like, oh, you guys should come on my podcast. So she invited you, which I haven't even
Awesome.
had time to tell you yet, but we're scheduled. So
Fantastic.
I was going to ask you, and if you didn't want to, I'd just do it myself. But if you do want to,
yeah.
January 7th, we'll be on their podcast.
Perfect.
And then she's going to be on our podcast next week.
Yay.
So
well, shoot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might not be here next week, but
that's okay. I knew that you had said that before, but it's okay. Well, you'll get to meet her when we're on hers.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But yeah, the collaboration between the FBA world and the merch world is really important because FBA has been around longer, and some of their AMS stuff and just their knowledge of Amazon in general is really helpful sometimes. So I'm always happy when we can make these connections with FBA groups because I value all of their knowledge.
Yes. I didn't realize how much overlap, honestly, until we went to the meetup in Minnesota. So, or not the conference in Minnesota. In Minneapolis. And that's when I realized, I was like, wow, okay, you can learn a lot from the FBA community, even from the pod side of things.
Right.
So, and then that was just solidified in Chicago. And so I'm super excited about meeting more of those people in 2020. So
Yeah, me too. Every time I'm at one of those conferences, I'm always laughing because I'm like, guys, I followed all of you, but now I'm actually getting to meet you. So it's like I
yes,
know more of the Amazon people now that I do merch than I did when I was actually doing FBA. And I think that's so random and hilarious. But I knew them, they just didn't know me because I was in the background, just listening and I wasn't participating. Um, I had no idea ever be on a show or have a group or anything like that. So
yeah,
I was just
yeah.
consuming content, and now we go to these conferences and I'm meeting everyone in person, and I'm like, oh,
No, I know, and I really, really hope we get to go to the Kelly's conference
yes.
in
I
February or whenever. So
I think we'll just do it. He won't say no. This conference got sold out a long time ago, but he was like, "What do you mean you're not going?"
I know.
So I feel like he invited us at that conference, and if he didn't, we'll just happen to be in Orlando the exact same days as the conference, and just happen to be at their hotel, and just happen to. So it'll be fun.
Yes,
We'll be there.
yes.
Um, so, God, I'm so excited for 2020. So,
Me too.
what are some of your goals? I feel like we've kind of just sort of said them throughout the show, but do you have any more that you want to talk about?
Um, I want to continue. I mean, personally, I want to continue growing my merch account, and get it. I just want to keep it going, like keep maxing it out. And so merch, KDP. I really need to focus on KDP. I still don't have very much up on KDP, but I want it to get as big as my merch account,
That's
but not in 2020 probably, but
yeah, yeah.
eventually I want it to be that big. But yeah, those are kind of my goals is just merch, KDP, and merch money. So I want to really help people in the community grow their accounts too. Like
Mhm.
that's exciting to me. And I know people don't quite understand that. I mean, they don't understand why we would take the time out of our day to help other people, but there's just something really rewarding about that for me, like helping someone else create, financial stability or create that extra income that they need, especially if we've kind of figured out what works for us, if we can try to see if that will work for other people. That's rewarding for me. So, and
Yeah.
like I said, I know that people can't quite understand that a lot of times. I see comments from people that are like, why would you do that when you could just focus on your own accounts? And yeah, I could just focus on my own accounts, but it's for me, it's more rewarding to help others like do it too. So,
That
and try to, just I don't know.
That's interesting that you say that because I remember in FBA, like tons of people would say things like that to Steve Rakin and some of the other people that were helping eBay people and FBA people. And they would just get mad because they felt like they were helping people and then those people were becoming successful and like saturating the platform. But I haven't noticed it as much in merch. Like maybe they just are not avoiding me, but I haven't really had too many people get mad at me for doing the channel or doing the Facebook group. And I've been surprised actually. I've been like, wow, I don't think anyone's complained about it yet. So um it's been a good run. I'm sure eventually like people will start complaining that we're giving too much away, but I've been surprised it's been so little because it was not so little for Steve Rakin and FBA and all that. Like he would get it every day. People would be mad that he was giving so much information about how to succeed. Um, so thank you guys for not being like that.
Yeah.
I've found it pretty enjoyable. Like every now and then people say something rude or something, that hurts my feelings, but most of the time it's been pretty easy. Like I've been very happy with how everyone's treated me and how everyone's treated the group. Especially how they've treated just the whole concept altogether. Because when I first started Merch Money, it was a little bit of a question of whether guys would watch the show or not. And a lot of people that were helping me said they wouldn't. They're like, you need to make sure you have a, like, I don't know. They would kind of say that my target demographic had to be women. And I'm like, I don't think so. I feel like guys will listen. So I've been really happy. We've stayed consistently 60% guys for pretty much the entire time we've had the channel. So thank you. And we've gotten very few rude comments. Like, I think just a couple of like people commenting on how we look or things like that. Like 99% of it is people actually talking about what we're talking about and listening to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So I've been very, 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 very happy. Oh, someone's saying, well, you must not be reading Reddit. That is very true. I'm not reading Reddit. So I know people complain about me there, but I don't even know how to find it. I tried to find it and I couldn't even, I don't know. I don't understand Reddit. So, but if it's only just in Reddit, I feel like that's a huge win because usually it'd be everywhere, like just total comments filled with hate, Facebook posts. It's so refreshing that so little of it has actually gotten to me. If it's out there, that's fine, but so little of it has actually reached me, which I know that's going to change. Like this year is probably going to change a lot, but hopefully not. We'll see. But even if it does, I feel like I'll be able to handle it better than if it had happened last year or the year before. So thank you guys for taking your time with the mean comments. I'll be able to handle it this year. So
yeah.
All right, what else? So I forgot where our train of thought was going. Oh, helping people, of course.
Yes.
So we'll definitely keep doing that through all the stuff that we're doing now, but also adding the blog and more like actual trainings instead of like a lot of times we're talking on shows and it's kind of verbally explaining, but it's not really like step-by-step showing. So I think we'll do more of that. Oh, somebody's saying AMA. Oh, sorry. I just titled it something because I was like, I don't even know what we're going to be talking about. You guys can ask questions anytime. Patty, AMA just means ask me anything. You guys can start asking questions anytime. We kind of didn't plan out the show that well.
Yeah.
But since it's the end of the year, I was like, we might as well talk about what happened this year and then talk about our goals for 2020. And I think we've pretty much covered all of them. I think I did have a couple goals I just wanted to say because I like to have like a record of it so that I can see if it came anywhere close the next year. So I know the goals should be income related, but I feel like that's harder to track. So I like to just do a amount. But don't worry, I am thinking about income, I promise, and hopefully it'll relate. But my goal is to just list 3,000 books on KDP this year.
Awesome.
I think that I'll do the research. I'll do, everything I can to make sure they're quality. But that's the goal for KDP. And then 500 resources on Ignite.
Awesome. Good work. I like those goals. I haven't thought about numbers yet for myself, but man, those are great goals.
Yeah, I'm going to try for that. And then the blog, I also want to stream other places than just YouTube. So everybody knows most people think I way overreacted. Who knows if I did or I didn't. But with COPA, the rules have changed. You just have to make sure that you say if it's for adults or children, and if they think it's different than how you said it was, then they could fine you. So I would like to, it's kind of a reminder, like not to be so reliant on one platform. Everybody always talks about diversifying, and I haven't been like the biggest advocate of diversifying because I like to focus on one thing at a time, but it all leads to eventually diversifying. I reached my goal of 10K on merch. So now it's time to diversify and pick a different platform and focus on that until I hit my 3,000 books and then focus on the next platform. So I do diversify just eventually, not all at once. So same with streaming. StreamYard has the ability to stream to 5 places at once. So one of my goals this year is to learn that, upgrade. We're on the free plan still, so upgrade to the paid plan and start streaming other places. You can stream on Facebook, you could stream, I haven't even looked into it, but I'm assuming whatever 5 other places are. I don't even know what 5 other places would be, but
That's awesome. I love that idea. So
yeah. So just start diversifying there, just in case if any of the platforms become too hard to work on. And oh, did I read everything else? Was it? I feel like there was something else.
yeah.
Streaming other places. Oh, and then TikTok. That's the
Okay.
last goal, is to start. I really just want to build an audience on there too, so that we're. It's the fastest growing right now, and it's similar to Instagram, where hashtags really help you gain a lot more traction. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I told you were sick, I think, the day I was doing it and posting it in the group, but it was, I was saying I was just trying it out with my account because I hadn't really talked to you to see if you wanted to do it with Merge Money or not. But I did my own personal account linked to my own personal Instagram and my own personal YouTube. But we could do the same thing with Merge Money, like link it to the Merge Money Instagram and the Merge Money YouTube channel. And
Yep.
when I was doing those 1-minute clips on Instagram, for a little while, I was good about doing it. It was like probably like 3 weeks. But anyway, you can do 1-minute clips to put on Instagram. Those same clips could be used on TikTok.
Oh,
So it wouldn't
cool.
really
Okay.
be more work. It's just like taking those Instagram posts and putting them on TikTok.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I like that idea.
yep. Do you recommend that we also make YouTube channels and try to earn affiliate commissions? I mean, that's always great. It depends on what you're trying to do. YouTube, I think the best part about YouTube is building an audience. So far, I haven't been very successful with actually making any money off of the AdSense. I think we've like 100. I think we've only had 1 payout so far the entire time we've had the channel. So I think we've made $50 on the channel over 2 years or whatever it's been, a year and a half. So I know other people do way better with that. It took us a while to figure out how to get monetized to begin with. And then once we did, it was just like, I don't know. We don't put it, I don't know, whatever. We don't make enough money on AdSense. So if you think you're going to make a lot of money on AdSense, it takes a while to get to 1,000 subscribers, and then it takes a while to actually make anything. So that really wouldn't be an incentive. But if you want to build an audience, if it'll help your brand, then yes, absolutely. It also helps with SEO and everything. If you have, because YouTube is a search engine by itself, and then it also ranks high in Google. So it'll help you rank your shirts or whatever you're trying to sell.
Yep.
And then affiliates, it just depends on what affiliates you want to work with. Affiliates can be great, or it could not work. I mean, it's a wide range.
Yeah. And I recommend, we are very particular about the people that we partner with. I mean, I can't even tell you how many messages a day from people who want us to be affiliates for their products. And we'll have a private webinar with them, look over their product. A lot of times they'll send us logins so we can test it out. And if we're not very comfortable with it, then we don't promote it. So I think that that's something you just have to figure out for your brand. Are there affiliate opportunities, and are they products that you really use, you like, you stand behind? Because it's, it kind of puts your name out there too. When you stand behind something like that and you're promoting it, you have to feel confident in that product.
Yep. Oh, Young's here. Hey, Young.
Yay. Okay, what other questions do we have here?
Christina, how's Lulu? That's what Tim's asking.
Tim, I haven't gotten over there yet. I researched it and I was like all gung ho, and then
didn't work out.
Yeah, it was like it was right at the end of the Etsy challenge when I came across it. And we sort of went from the Etsy challenge to Chicago. That's what happened. It was I was just getting started with Lulu, and the Chicago conference came up kind of out of the blue. And then I was focused on that and haven't circled back around to Lulu, but it's definitely that's on my list, especially now that KDP Wizard connects with that. So now it'll be like a no-brainer.
Perfect. So many questions, guys. I'm so sorry. We'll try to go through. Tim saying 3,000 is very doable. Laura is saying that's like 10 a day. This is a good question. Is there a reason you're going to focus on KDP? Is MBA no longer worth the effort? No, it is definitely worth the effort. And that's why I started with it, because I felt like it was actually the most, gosh, my words are not coming.
Yeah.
The best platform.
Yeah.
The best platform to be on. And I still think it's the best platform. The reason why I want to do KDP is because KDP is also owned by Amazon, and KDP is also a fantastic platform. So I don't want to just keep focusing on one thing forever. And I have a very hard time doing a ton of different things. I mean, honestly, we have done a ton of different things this year, so I shouldn't say that, because we did do meetups and like a million things. But if I also try to do all of those meetups and a million things, and then also try to be on a million platforms, it just tends to not work out very well. So I'm saying I'm focusing on KDP because that's going to be the thing where I'm like, okay, Helen, you have to do this. Like, I know there's meetups, I know there's stuff, but you have to get these books listed. And then if I have time to do merch, I'll do merch. But no, definitely, merch, a lot of people, I don't know what your tier is or what level you are, but a lot of people end up getting stuck somewhere along the way where they've maxed out their tier. So I think KDP is great for that time when you, it's so much better than just sitting there waiting to tier up. KDP doesn't have a limit like that. So
exactly.
I think both are fantastic opportunities. I think all the other opportunities are fantastic too. Etsy and Shopify and Redbubble and all of them. I just can only do however much I can do. So KDP is going to be my main focus, but I will try to do a little bit on all the other ones as well.
Yeah. What other question? We got Lynn's question here.
And one more really quick thing about that. I forgot to say about diversifying. Like, a lot of people say it's very important to diversify because you never know if something's going to happen. Like, if you're going to somehow get kicked off of merch, or if a law changes. I mean, so many things can happen that if you only have one thing that you're doing, sometimes that can be really bad if something major happens and changes. So I think, KDP is not really diversifying because it's still the same company, but it's a little bit diversifying because it's a different product. It's on books instead of on t-shirts. And it's a different platform. So it's a little bit diversifying, but I want to start focusing on things. I don't want to have all my attention be on merch forever and get to like million trillionth tier and have nothing else. So I kind of just set 10K as like an arbitrary number to be like, okay, once I get to 10K tier, I'm going to focus on the next platform. So for me, the next platform is KDP. For you, it could be something different. Once I get my 3,000 books listed on KDP, I'll probably, turn to something else. So.
Yep, exactly. That's kind of my thought too, is that you never want to have all your eggs in one basket. However, you also want to kind of stick with what works too. So, and you've had success on Amazon with MBA, and I think that success will easily transfer to KDP. So, so that it totally makes sense.
And I also did FBA. So a lot of people kept doing FBA and did merch just on the side. I completely dropped it because, again, like, I like to just focus on one thing at a time. But all of my FBA knowledge did transfer over somewhat. Like, I do understand the Amazon platform, how Amazon works. So that's just how I do it. But everybody can do their own way, whatever feels comfortable for them.
Yeah.
All right. What was the other question that you had put up?
Lynn was asking where to find the podcast.
Oops, okay. So the podcast is on almost all the podcast platforms. I think we're on 8 of them. So you can find it on Apple. You could find it Google, Spotify. I don't even remember, but there's 8 different places. So anywhere that you listen to podcasts, just type in Merch Money and you should be able to find it.
Perfect. We have here.
Anyone sold on B&N? Does that mean Barnes and Noble? Is that what he's talking about?
Yep.
Have you?
I haven't yet. I believe Flav is, I don't know if he's still on here. I think he has.
Yeah.
But no, not for me yet. But that's something I'd like to do now that KDP Wizard connects with that too. So
yeah, I definitely have heard really good things about selling on Barnes and Noble, and I know they have hardback books. So I think that's one of the benefits to selling there.
What other? Yeah.
How are you doing, Young? He's always everywhere. You're so awesome listening to our shows and being everywhere. You need to meet up at Young's house. That way you know he will come.
This is true.
We love the cutout version of Young. This is so funny that everybody thought it was a cutout. I'm like, I don't even know how to make a big cutout like that.
I do. They're actually pretty darn expensive, but hey, my terrible photoshopping skills work just fine. So.
Anyone doing Ignite? I applied. Do we set a goal for what we will do for 2020? I said I was going to do 500 resources on Ignite. That's my personal goal.
Yeah. And I think that varies from person to person, Patty. So, whatever you're comfortable with, start out with one, say I'm going to get one up there. And yeah.
Do you think that KDP is better for edgy designs?
I guess I don't know what he means by edgy.
I mean, I don't focus a lot on KDP right now. I have like some books up, but not a lot. So I don't know, but my instinct would be literally books are every single type of person, every single type of niche. Like books are for all people. So all people throughout time. So I think pretty much anything you put would have an audience. I mean, it depends on what keyword you use, and certain audiences will be more popular than other audiences, and there might be more books in certain topics than other topics. But I think pretty much anything you make, you could find a way to put it on KDP and find an audience for it.
Yes.
Patty wants us to do a 30-day design challenge.
We could probably do something like that.
I don't know if we call it 30-day. I feel like that could be more like Matt and RJ's thing. But we could definitely do some kind of design, something.
Yeah, I think I've had some people suggest that they want something to help them continue to build on their design skills. So that's maybe something we can do potentially in the Merch Money Mastermind group, maybe.
I'm thinking like an actual workshop would be good for that. Like get some artists and like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to think about it, how we would want to do that. I feel like both of us do more like simple t-shirt design type stuff, which I think is fine. But I think it would be kind of nice to have some artists that really know Photoshop or really know all these different techniques and things if people really want to learn a lot.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll think of something. I don't know why this reminded me. I think because I was thinking of design, and for some reason when I design my own stuff, I like doing pop sockets better than t-shirts. So once they open pop sockets to Europe, those have been selling well for me. Have those been selling for you, or have you put any up?
I've gotten some up. They haven't been doing too bad. So I would say I sell maybe like a handful a week overseas. So, but I don't have a ton up yet.
I didn't have I had tried to put up a lot of shirts in Germany and UK, and most of them hadn't done well and came down. So like the second time around, I wasn't uploading very often to UK and Germany. But once pop sockets came, I was like, okay, let me try again. And those so far have done way better for me than the shirts. And I was talking to somebody from Germany. She had posted in our group, and I had her look at one of my designs, and or one of my listings, and she's like, Helen, you have to use DeepL. So I had been using Merch Wizard Translator, which I guess it uses Google Translator. It uses something else. It uses what Amazon uses, but anyway, whatever. She said it's not right, which I knew. Like, if you use a translator, it's probably not going to be right to begin with. But if you use DeepL, it's closer. So that's DeepL.
Oh, nice. Okay,
that translator is much better. So I have to stop being lazy and start just using that. So that's one thing. But she also said, in her opinion, designs that are actually in German on the shirt, for her, those do the best. And then what does the second best is just graphics with no words. And then third would be like English words. So the particular design that I had sent to her had English words on it, and it was translated in Google Translate for Germany. So it was like the worst of all worlds. So if you're like me and did it like that, that's probably why it's not selling. Like, you need to use either DeepL. I asked her if she thought English was fine, and I'd have to go look at her response again. I think she thought that it'd be better to have it in German. But I know like a lot of people in our community just do English for the listings. And I've kind of switched to that because I knew the Google Translate wasn't doing a good job. So I switched to English. But I think if you can get German words correct, that's probably the best.
Okay.
So we'll see, but I think she's right because my pop sockets are doing way better than my shirts. So I think it's because they were more graphic based instead of word based. So yeah, so I think going forward, until I'm better with, I don't know, I'm going to stick with pop sockets for Germany. So, all right, what do you make of the new KDP rule about notebooks?
I still can't figure out what the actual rule is.
I don't even know about this rule. What rule is that? Is it something new?
I don't know. He says he got an email. KDP rep sent him an email with new rule stuff, all like stuff about no content being against terms of service. So I don't know what that is. I haven't seen anything like that yet. So.
And most of the stuff we do is low content anyway. Like, it can't be just completely blank. There has to be something on there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have not heard anything about that. So you'd have to send me more information.
Yeah. Let's see here. What's going up through the comments here.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I hadn't scrolled all the way down. There was a whole bunch of comments I missed. I don't think there's, I don't know. I don't think that's true, but we'll see. Tim Massey saying fake news. Yeah, I think I think that's fake news.
Yeah, it might be.
Oh, and they're citing someone from Reddit lost their account. Yeah, I can't. So far, I avoid Reddit. I don't really trust a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah.
So
let's see here. Scrolling back up, see if there were.
Oh my gosh, it's over an hour. I had no clue. I'm so sorry.
I know.
Was there anything else that you really wanted to talk about before we end, or anybody have any more questions that is really important we answer tonight?
Yeah, if we missed a question that you really wanted answered, sorry, the chat was moving pretty fast.
Yeah.
So.
And I would get on tangents and forget to look and like scroll way down and be like, oh my God, I missed 30 comments.
No, I think I think that you covered it really well. And um, I haven't really put down my personal like numbers yet as far as
Mhm,
what numbers. I always like to see where I end up for the year,
mhm.
as far as tier goes, and um, how many, I'm hoping to get. But I think we're aligned on all of our merch money goals. And I can't wait to be here like 1 year from now
Oh my
and like be going over this again and say, oh my gosh, we've done this, and this year. And,
God.
and just, I really, I'm really excited for it- the group to continue to grow. So, um, and I think I just want everyone to know that if there are things that you want from us, you want to see us, try to do for the community or anything like that, feel free to post it in the Merch Money group. Let us know what you need. So that's what we're here for. We're here to help you guys.
Yes, absolutely. And sometimes it's stuff we hadn't even thought of. A lot of the videos I've done have been based on people's questions. So definitely ask any questions. Um, and feel free to post your own tips and things too. Like I learned so much from the lady today that from Germany. So
Yeah.
there's so much that you know about so many things. It could be about a niche. It could be about a country. It could be about who knows what, but almost for sure you know something that I don't know. So feel free to post any hints or tips. It's really helpful.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so many knowledgeable people in our community.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. Dwayne's got a question real quick.
Oops.
Oh,
Were we both trying to shout at the same time?
must have been. And Dwayne asks, quick question. When you post a new design or product, do you guys advertise it on social media or use video to promote it? I I used to. So, in the lower tiers on Merch by Amazon, if I was trying to get something to go viral to help me like tier up, then yes, I would post it on like Twitter or Instagram or whatever, to try to help it take off. Um, I really don't do that much anymore. My account's to the point where I get a lot of organic traffic. I'm sure if I promoted things more, it would do even better. But I find that my time is better spent doing other tasks right now. So, but I encourage you, if you have time to do it, that's a great way, to get your product out there, is to definitely try social media or a video, or whatever works for your
Yeah.
type of customer.
I think that kind of goes along with the building the brand. It depends on what you're doing. If you're building a brand, which I think that you are, right? I think you have the dinosaur calendar, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a theme and you have a specific artistic look to your drawings and things. So you could build a brand around all of that. So if you go the brand route and you are building a cohesive look to your designs and a cohesive brand, then absolutely do the video, do social media, all kinds. All of it helps. Um, I kind of went more the route of just putting stuff on merch because merch has so much organic traffic that you don't have to do additional unless you want to. Um, I went with doing just on merch and doing Pinterest. And even
Yeah.
Pinterest, I don't do very much anymore. But the first year, I was very good about pinning everything that I was making. All of my shirts were getting pinned.
Yes.
Um, so, all right. Well, I'm very excited for next year. I'm very happy with how this year went. And I think what do we have? One more show? I think we only have one more show this year.
Yeah.
So next week's show is the last show of the year, and then we're taking 2 weeks off. And then starting next year, the first guest next year is going to be a very good guest. So we're not going to announce that yet, but get ready. First guest of the year. We're doing it right.
Yep.
I think that's it, right? Anything else?
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Sorry we went a little over, but thank you all for being in the group, and we can't wait to continue this all next year.
Yep.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.